Warcraft's peak edgelord fantasy. Another one here from Platinum WoW. Not exactly sure what's gonna, I don't pre-watch this shit, so I'm not really sure what this is about, but I can tell you that's near Nazgrim on the screen there. One of the famous Death Knights, badass edgelord for sure. Let's get into this one, see what this is all about here from Platinum WoW.
During the Legion expansion, every hero on Azeroth banded together to fight back against the demonic invasion.
Yes.
But for Death Knights, they were able to revel in their edgelord class fantasy and play the anti-hero in this expansion.
Is this what I think it's about? Is this about the Four Horsemen questline? So it might be. I might just be on a stupid-ass rant right now. But if you played Death Knight and Legion, you got to experience probably what was one of the best quest lines ever put into the game. The summoning, or I should say assembling, of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse was absolutely glorious. You had Lich King interactions. You were going back and gathering up some of the most badass heroes, / maybe not so heroic heroes in the game ever, and assembling them to create what is going to be, an epic badass team of Death Knights, known as the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. By the way, this is like what the entire unholy, what's the hero talents called? The entire unholy hero talent tree basically is about these guys. When you summon them and everything, that's where this all came from. It was a badass quest line. If you haven't seen it before, it's great. Although I don't know if that's what this video is about. If it is, it's going to look like I pre-watched it.
And antagonize a whole bunch of other factions in the process. But before we dive into that, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, Displate. Displates are officially licensed
cool.
high-quality metal posters. The ones I have here are their special Textra finish, which means that these works of art have a 3D textured surface with custom layers of inks and varnishes.
Rider of the Apocalypse, that's the hero tree I'm thinking of. That's the one that allows you to summon the, obviously, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
That make the artwork on each Displate really pop. But my personal favorite part about Displates is that they have a super simple mounting system.
Yes, I did search it.
All you need to do is clean your wall, slap on a sticker, then the magnet, and then boom. You can not only easily mount your Displate, not having to drill in any holes or worry about it being even, but you can also swap them out for different Displates in mere seconds. They have tons of Warcraft branded Displates, but there are thousands of other designs
anybody have
to
these?
browse on their
I always
site.
thought they looked
and you
cool.
can click the link in the description or use code PLATINUM at checkout to get up to 33% off of your first Displate.
Wow.
That's right, 33% if you click the link in the description or use code PLATINUM. Thank you, Displate, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it. After the defeat of Arthas Menethil atop the Frozen Throne at the end of the Wrath of the Lich King, the fate of the Scourge was in question. Without a Lich King, the uncontrolled undead forces would be an even bigger threat to the denizens of Azeroth.
Right.
So in a last act of service to his people, Bolvar Fordragon donned the Helm of Domination and became the jailer of the damned, holding the aggressive Scourge at bay through sheer willpower alone. The new Lich King and his Scourge remained dormant for some years until the Third Legion invasion. Now the Lich King stirs once more, speaking directly to the player character Death Knight and orders them to put their necromantic powers to use.
Yeah.
The greatest heroes on Azeroth have gathered to face the Burning Legion. But heroes alone will not save this world. Salvation will come at a price the living cannot pay. The time of the Four Horsemen has come, and you will bring about their return.
It's such a good quest line, man. It is such a good quest line, and if you've never done it, oh, you missed out. You missed out on some really good shit. This was freaking peak lore. Let me tell you, this quest line, you go all over Azeroth getting it done. You betray both factions in the process. You totally basically go full on Death Knight, basically saying, we're going to take care of our own. Death Knights are going to do Death Knight things. We do what the living cannot. And oh, by the way, we're going to help save the world in the process.
Nazgrim, the fallen general of the Horde, shall be the firstborn. Go now and see that it is done.
Stand your
Brawls
ground,
balls.
brothers! Lotaro Gar! For honor and for the Horde!
Sergeant Nazgrim is a character that was first introduced in Wrath of the Lich King at Conquest Hold. Then during the Cataclysm, he was promoted to Legionnaire and plays a major role in the Horde questing experience in Vashir.
Yep.
Then in Mist of Pandaria, he's promoted to General, and is leading the fight against the Alliance in the Jade Forest.
Aha! That's right! Show them Hellscream's fury!
As the expansion continued, General Nazgrim would remain
I
fiercely
mean, even as an Alliance player, I gotta admit, Nazgrim's a badass. He's a badass.
loyal to the Mad War Chief Garrosh Hellscream. And during the Siege of Orgrimmar raid, players must face the general who is bound by duty and honor.
If you remember the Nazgrim fight in Siege of Orgrimmar, he's not necessarily like in agreement with what Garrosh is doing. Nazgrim meets his end just out of duty and honor. That he believed like his post was to protect the leader of the Horde and the war chief, right? Like the war chief, his duty is to keep him alive. Basically, he was the final stand against anybody who would ever try to harm the war chief. And whether or not he agreed with the war chief was besides the point. To him, it would be dishonorable to abandon his post, and that's why we have to kill him in that raid. It's actually pretty badass.
To fight in the name of the Horde, a sentiment that he held till his dying breath.
I am Nazgrim, Fist of the War Chief, and General of the Horde Army. If I must die today, I will die with honor in battle for the Horde! I die with honor. Loktar Ogar.
Cool boss fight. And here we are as a Death
As the
Knight.
Legion threatens this world, Nazgrim has been chosen to be the first in this new era of horsemen. Darian Mograine, founder of the Knights of the Ebon Blade, is unsure if raising a slain champion of the Horde is really even a good idea.
The four horsemen. I have my reservations, but I will obey your will, Death Lord. The Horde will be outraged, but Nazgrim will make a powerful Death Knight.
That's right.
It is time, my
Fuck
lord.
the Horde.
Do what must be done.
Uh-huh.
Nazgrim, your Death Lord calls. Feel the icy grip of your master, and rise once more.
I live again. How long has it been since I tasted death?
Long enough, my friend. The Burning Legion has returned, and you have been called to the battle.
That's right.
Say no more. I will
Badass.
sever their heads from their bodies.
Indeed you shall, General. Indeed you shall.
Nazgrim is the first member of this new era of horsemen. But we don't have any horses for a horseman, so I guess Nazgrim is just man.
Yeah. Well, we fixed that. We do. We get to that in the quest line where you actually go get the horses. Another badass part of the quest line.
Get a hold of those later. Right now, the Lich King is thundering in the player's head once again, commanding them to raise the next champion to serve his will.
By the way, quick thing on General Nazgrim. One really cool thing about him, he's like the first Death Knight that has the ability to grip multiple guys at the same time. That whole Gorfien's Grasp where you pull everybody together, it's a talent tree ability. It comes from him. He's the one who freaking mastered that whole ability of basically either choking out multiple people or death gripping multiple people at the same time. Another little lore tidbit there.
Commanding them to raise the next champion to serve his will.
The time of the second horseman has come, Death Lord. Upon the cliffs of Erethdor stands the fallen kingdom of Stromgarde.
It's a great one.
It is there that you will find the tomb of Thor's Trollbane, the great warrior king. His strength
Betrayed by his bitch-ass
was
son.
without rival, and he shall be even more powerful in undeath.
Yes, Malden, exactly.
Thoris Trollbane was one of the greatest kings this world has known. The Alliance will not be pleased.
Yep.
Nevertheless, your will be done, Death Lord. The Ebon Blade will be honored to bring King Thoris into our fold.
Before this quest, Thoris Trollbane was never featured in World of Warcraft. Because he was dead. Trollbane was the former ruler of the kingdom of Stromgarde, wielder of the mighty blade troll Kalar, the family sword used during the Troll Wars. After the Second War, King Thoras Trollbane withdrew his support from the Alliance, and then during the Third War, his son Galen killed him and assumed the throne. Shortly after, the kingdom was sieged by Syndicate thugs and Boulder Fist ogres. His son kept the tradition of being super indecisive with his allegiances, and rejoined the Alliance to save his kingdom. Then he was killed by Horde players, then raised as an undead by Forsaken Apothecaries in Cataclysm, and then has Horde players retrieve his family's sword. Then in Legion, he revokes his loyalty to the Forsaken and declares himself the ruler of Stromgarde as an independent nation. This is where the Death Knights come in. And if they plan to raise Thoras Trollbane, they're going to need Troll Kalar and use it as a key to open his tomb. Players make a deal with Galen to clear out some of the Witherbark trolls in exchange for the weapon. They then meet Galen in the throne room for their reward.
Yeah, but Galen's a betrayer, right? He's a bitch. You're about to find out exactly what that means. Let's just say the quest doesn't go exactly how we planned it.
It seems your Death Lord has finally arrived.
You should watch your tone, Galen.
Stromgarde is mine at last. You are fools if you think I'll let my father have it back. Guards! Seize them!
Yep, I remember this.
Treachery!
By the way, in this quest line, Nazgrim, now the Death Knight Nazgrim, goes on an absolute fucking rampage. I mean, he goes nuts. This is the first moment where you actually see a Death Knight. Like I said, multi-death grip or multi-chokeout. We end up on the bridge with a bunch of guards. He literally lifts all the guards off the fucking bridge, choking them all out at the same time. Freaking badass.
I will bury my axe in the coward's skull!
My patience has worn thin as well. Let's find the prince and be done with this.
Charge!
Players then chase after Galen Trollbane and kill the traitorous prince and rip the prized sword from his possession.
Yes.
I'm the prince! How
such a bitch.
dare you?
Thank you.
Now we raise his badass father.
My son, where is Galen? Where is the prince who murdered his king? We took his life, my lord. The prince left us little choice. What has become of Stromgarde? Death and ruin. Time has not been kind to this place. Then I have failed as both a father and a king. Stromgarde is lost, but there is still hope for this world. If you will join us.
Be a Death Knight. Yes.
I will do whatever it takes to preserve peace on Azeroth.
Prince who murdered his king Arthas? Yeah, kind of the same story, yeah.
With King Trollbane raised and fighting for the Ebon Blade, we now have 2 of the 4 horsemen. But we still don't have the horses, so we just got 2 men.
Right, 2 men.
Okay, well, let's at least gather the saddles we need for these horses. Players send champions on mission board quests to retrieve various saddles from infamous undead horses in Azeroth's past. This includes the saddle of Baron Rivendare's mount in Strathhome, the saddle of the Headless Horseman's steed in the Scarlet Monastery,
really cool lore
the
behind
saddle
even
of
the
Midnight
saddles.
from Ottoman the Huntsman in Karazhan, saddle of Invincible hidden beneath Icecrown, and finally we get some horse reins from the Dark Riders in Duskwood.
Yes.
Then once again, the Lich King calls to the player character to raise the next member of the Horsemen.
Lady Whitemane, yeah? Yeah.
My Inquisitor Whitemane was a priest whose personal tragedy forged an intense connection with the light. Her zealous power of will
The sexiest of the horsemen, of course.
Is necessary to strengthen the bond of the four. Travel to the Scarlet Monastery and raise the High Inquisitor from her tomb inside the cathedral.
Obviously, as you could imagine, the Scarlets are not big fans of Death Knights to begin with, so us marching in there, or we're not well received, and then what we want to do is like kind of, well, it's blasphemous. Such a great questline. It is the best questline I think I've ever played through in WoW.
Whitemane is the prime example of a character whose popularity far outweighs the amount of lore that she actually has.
Yeah, and Lady Whitemane cosplays are always the best cosplays. Everybody knows that.
Her story is that she's from South Shore, and her family got turned into zombies during the Third War, and she had to kill them. Ever since then, she's devoted her life to eradicating the Scourge and joining the Scarlet Crusade. Players would fight her in Classic WoW, but she wouldn't officially die until Mist of Pandaria, when the Scarlet Monastery was revamped.
There are few in this world who have lived with more conviction than High Inquisitor
Fucking Nazgrim hacking at the dead body. By the way, Nazgrim, when you're doing these quests, the other 4 horsemen that you've gathered so far, the 2 are with you. And so they're fighting along the way as you're hacking your way through these zones, and you're going right now through Scarlet Monastery. Nazgrim is so violent. He's throwing people against walls. He's just one axe slashing 4 people's heads off. Like, he's just going off the entire time. So the fact that he's got him chomping at this dead body, it really does fit his attitude the entire time you're doing this quest line.
Death has a way of quelling the madness of the mind. I'm sure she will serve the Ebon Blade without compromise.
Players and their fellow Death Knights show up to the Scarlet Monastery and wipe the floor with the Crusade. Lore-wise, players have raided the Scarlet Monastery 5 times in World of Warcraft's history. Once during Classic, then during Cataclysm, then in Mist of Pandaria, this time in Legion, and most recently in Midnight.
Yeah.
So, to make a long story short, the Death Knights
and every
make
Halloween
quick work of the Crusaders in the monastery.
Yeah, this.
None among the Scarlet Crusade with the strength to challenge me.
This is Nazgrim the entire time. I'm telling you, he's like taunting, he's talking shit. He is just literally going like full-on Hulk mode, destroying mobs of Scarlets. It's crazy.
Those who terrorize the innocent have no place in this world or the next. The realm of shadow offers little respite to the souls of the wicked.
Aye. You defile the sanctity of this chapel with your presence. The holy light shall burn you.
Yeah, bitch, shut up.
Rise up, High Inquisitor. Your Death Lord calls you back to this world.
I live? Is the anguish of death over?
We have not come to offer peace, High Inquisitor.
Why then? Why have you done this to me?
The day of reckoning is at hand. The Burning Legion has come to destroy our world. The Knights of the Ebon Blade have come to offer you a chance at atonement.
She has too much on. Yeah, she's too dressed.
I
Yeah.
doubt that such a thing exists for me.
Join us, and we will find out together.
Indeed we shall.
She joins us.
With Sally Whitemane raised and in death, we now have 3 of the 4 horsemen. But again, still no horses, so we just got 2 men and 1 woman.
Yes.
In order to finally summon undead steeds for our horsemen...
No spoilers, but if you think this questline has been cool so far, the 4th horseman is the best part. Oh my god, it's so good. And if you don't know, that maybe a lot of you know this questline, and I'm just hyping this shit up for no reason, but it gets really, really good right now at the end.
We need to do mission board quests to collect deathly essences from slain characters in Warcraft's past, located in the Shadowlands. Players send their champions to collect the essence of undeath from Grand Apothecary Putris, the Forsaken
him
who
from the
betrayed
Death Gate?
Sylvanas and attacked the Horde, Alliance, and Scourge at the Wrathgate. The essence of fear from Grand Empress Shek'Zir, the final boss of the Heart of Fear raid. The essence of hatred from Dalen Proudmoore, Jaina's father who chased the Horde the Kalimdor. The essence of darkness from Archmage Arugal, the mage who summoned the Worgen back on Azeroth. And
so much good lore.
The most interesting essence, the essence of shadow from Soulbinder Nami. This is one of the bosses in the Auchindoun dungeon in Warlords of Draenor, which is proof that even characters from alternate universes are sent to the same version of the Shadowlands when they die. And I could totally struggle to explain that right now, but the Lich King is thundering in the player's head and orders them to raise the last member of the Four Horsemen.
There must be one among the Four Horsemen with the power
the leader.
to lead.
Yes.
Without a leader, there will be no unity among the Four. The time has come for the Ebon Blade
Light's Hope Chapel.
to Light's Hope.
Man, this was so good.
The body of the great
Tyrion Fordring
rests beneath the chapel.
Yes. We decided to raise Tyrion Fordring as the leader of the Four Horsemen. Now, if you know who the Four Horsemen actually turn out to be, you'll be like, well, how did this work out? Because is Tyrion really the leader of the Four Horsemen? I'll let the little quest line play out here, and you'll see what actually happened.
Go now, and do what must
Everyone
be
knows
done.
it.
Tyrion Fordring, wielder of the Ashbringer, defender of humanity, the very man who fought Arthas at Light's Hope Chapel, which led to the Ebon Blade breaking free from his control. The paladin who would later defeat Arthas and crown Bolvar as the new Lich King, then later die on the front lines of battle on the Broken Shore.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Tyrion's death at the Broken Shore was a bit anticlimactic. I mean, he's fucking Tyrion. Literally took on the shattered frickin' Frostmourne, wielder of Ashbringer. Dies to a mid-tier raid boss? Yeah, I think they should have done him a bit better than that.
Now the jailer of the damned is ordering that his corpse must be forcefully taken from the paladins and raised to serve his will in order to save Azeroth from the Legion. Well, at least that's his excuse for such a blasphemous act.
Tyrion Fordring was one of the greatest champions this world has known. If we do this, there will be a price to pay.
Shut the up, Tyrion! Stop being such a weak-willed loser! This is gonna be like, so badass!
I will obey, Deathlord, but know this. Should we go through with this, there will be no turning back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, raid on Light's Hope Chapel. I mean, if you remember the first time we go to Light's Hope Chapel when the Death Knights are still, serving Arthas. And if you remember, basically the Death Knights abandon Arthas the first time Death Knights kind of gain free will and stop listening to the Lich King is when he sends them to try to overtake Light's Hope Chapel, and all the Death Knights realize he sent us on a death march. He knew we were going to die. Light's Hope Chapel is nearly impossible for any undead to step foot on, and yet he sent all of these Death Knights there to just basically throw their bodies against a wall and try to break through, showing that he truly didn't give a shit about his Death Knights, and that's when kind of the break-off happens. And here we are again at Light's Hope Chapel.
Just beyond those walls is the body of Tyrion Fordring, one of the greatest champions our world has known. The Silver Hand will not give him to us willingly, so we will take him by force!
This was epic.
Players waltz into Light's Hope Chapel and sneak into the crypt in the back and summon a horde of ghouls to distract the paladins while they claim their new horsemen.
My lord, we're under attack! It's the Ebon Blade!
So we summon an army of ghouls, and they're fighting outside.
In the Hall of Champions. We will join you shortly, Deathlord.
You will not succeed, Tyrion. The light will not allow it.
Players go into the basement of the chapel. recklessly killing paladins along the way.
Right.
But as they reach the tomb, Lady Liadrin stands as Tyrion's last bastion of hope.
Death Knight, your actions here are
Yep, maybe you recognize her from the Midnight Cinematic and everything. Yep, it's her. Lady Liadrin's the final stand that we have to fight against. She's like the boss of this quest line. And she's standing there guarding the grave of Tyrion.
Front to all that is holy.
Uh-huh.
Turn back from this unholy mission, or be purged by the light!
I don't think so.
Come, let us lay waste to this realm.
Adam, thank you for the follow. Welcome to our Scourge. Spoiler, the light indeed did not allow it. Yes, you will see here in a second. The light does in fact intervene.
How can this be? You are a monster, Darion.
Without monsters, there can be no heroes.
Oh, badass.
The time has come, Death Lord. Tyrion Fordring awaits. At last, the four horsemen shall have their leader.
Yep.
What is this?
You fools. Did you really think the light would allow this?
Yeah, so you're in the quest, you're doing the summoning, just like you did for the other horsemen, and then, yeah, a giant gold bubble suddenly pushes you back on the screen and fills the room with light. It's pretty cool.
No, I will not allow the Ebon Blade to fall! The Death Gate. Take it.
High Lord, we must do something before it's too late.
The light has ravaged his body. There is nothing we can do for him.
Even in a lifetime of war, I have never before seen such sacrifice.
He opened the Death Gate and sacrificed himself.
Moraine has sacrificed more for the Ebon Blade than any other.
That's right.
His body lays before you, broken, scarred.
Our leader.
But death is for the living. It has no power over the damned. Your fourth horseman lays before you, Death Lord. Command him to rise.
Uh-huh.
He was with us all along. Darion.
The time has come to take my position as the leader of the four horsemen.
Excellent.
Horsemen! Our destiny is at hand!
With Darion now leading the four horsemen, they can finally strike back against the Burning Legion on the Broken Shore.
The Burning Legion shall tremble before the power of the four horsemen!
And the truth is, the four horsemen did some fucking damage to the Legion. All four survived every single fight. They got in plenty of frontline conflict, and they absolutely slaughtered demons.
After the Legion is defeated, they appear briefly in the next expansion, Battle for Azeroth. Here, the horsemen acquire fallen champions so that they can be raised as Death Knights,
right,
which opened the class to be playable for all of the races at that time. One of the things I love about Bolvar is, at this time, we really couldn't tell if he was still a good guy.
Yeah.
He was fighting back the corruption of the Helm of Domination and holding back the Scourge through sheer force of will. But his demands of the player character in Legion might suggest that his morality is waning. There was such an interesting dynamic that was being built between the Ebon Blade, who ultimately want to be an organization that protects Azeroth, and their mysterious overlord, who is trying to do the same thing, despite the forces of evil he is resisting. The relationship between the Horsemen and the Lich King was explored in the short story We Ride Forth, but then all of Bolvar's aura was ripped from him in Shadowlands when the Helm of Domination was pried from his head and then destroyed.
I still say there was a way to do this fight where they didn't make Bolvar look like a complete bitch, because I'll be honest, like the start of the cinematic, badassery. He's sitting up there on the frozen throne. You got the army of Scourge in front of him, and he stands up and grabs the hammer. And he's dominant. He's doing great in the fight. And then all of a sudden, Sylvanas unleashes her pussy chains and like chains him up and rips his helmet off. I think they could have done it in a way where he was like beating the fuck out of her. about to execute her. She's clearly lost the fight, and then the jailer somehow interferes, right? And it's actually the jailer that beats the Lich King and not frickin' Sylvanas, because I think the whole Sylvanas win, they were just trying to give her aura. Like, oh, Sylvanas is such a badass now. No, you don't do that to one of your best lore characters. It was dumb as hell.
Now Bolvar is just bald, lame, and sad.
Yeah,
and the horsemen
basically
help their bald, lame, and sad daddy and
why
defend
bald?
Azeroth
Why we gotta
from
say
the
that?
crazed scourge who no longer had a leader controlling them. But let me again rewind to this questline in Legion. I love it because it's just so indulgent.
It's great.
It highlights such a wide variety of Warcraft's lore, brings it into one storyline,
Yes.
and lets the players be a little bit naughty with their morality.
Yeah, from the saddles to the zones they send you to the ancient lore that you finish off in some places, like Trollbane killing his son and everything for the final time. There's so many moments in this game, in this quest line, that expand far beyond just a Death Knight Order Hall quest line. It actually lays lore down for everybody else in the game who doesn't even know the quest line happened. But it's I think this goes down as my favorite quest line I ever played through in WoW.
That being said, two of my biggest complaints is that there really isn't any exploration of each of the horsemen's feelings about their fate being raised as an undead murder machine.
Yeah,
You'd
they don't
think
really have a
someone like
choice.
High Inquisitor Whitemane would not be so reluctantly accepting of being raised as a Death Knight. Like, I get it, she doesn't really have a choice, but I just wish that there was further story explaining her character. There also isn't much of any consequence for them stealing these slain characters from other factions. No one seems to care that Trollbane was stolen.
True.
The orcs are surprisingly chill to see Nazgrim walking around, and in Midnight,
Nazgrim's great,
the four
man.
horsemen are defending Light's Hope Chapel from Scourge attacks as penance for their assault in Legion. I guess they're considering it community service for breaking into their secret order, murdering dozens of paladins, and trying to raise the hero who tragically died like a couple days earlier and turn him into a superpowered murder zombie. Now, since the War Within, the fate of the four horsemen has been left to Death Knight players who spec into the Riders of the Apocalypse
Yep, there
hero
it is.
talent tree, where they can summon the four to attack their enemies. So now these lore characters have the unique circumstance of being a part of the player character's rotation. But I hope there's more to their story other than pumping out DPS numbers. The four horsemen are just such
I would
an
love to see them in the
interesting
final,
squad
like,
of
Titan
killing
fights and
machines
everything.
with backgrounds that highlight the storied history of Warcraft lore, and I just want to know more about them. Give me a quest line, another short story.
Yeah, I wish we'd
an
get more about 'em.
audiobook, a podcast. Hell,
what the hell was
I'll
that on
even
the-
take a Minecraft Let's Play.
Great stuff. Another great video from Platinum WoW. These are always bangers. And yes, easily, the four horsemen of the apocalypse and the summoning of them goes down as my favorite quest line in the history of WoW. Nice video overall from Platinum WoW.